Look, not to get too real, I don't like existing, period.
Brunch.
Hit it, boys! Present is festive, Dawson, but it also sucks.
Why does it suck? But it is festive because you are wearing a mock turtleneck. 'Tis the season.
'Tis the season. The season. Yeah, that's just a little light nod to Rob Gronkowski. Shout out John
Yes.
Feidelberg with the absolute perfect description of the whole Rob Gronkowski thing. If you didn't see, yesterday Rob Gronkowski was on Fox doing his job, and he was wearing a turtleneck, and his hair was stupid.
His hair was
Very
bad.
overlooked that his hair was stupid.
Yes.
Everybody was talking about the turtleneck. That's just society in general. They just see something they don't do all the time, and
I thought
they
he looked
say
fine.
it's stupid, and they say it's weird.
I thought it looked fine. I thought he looked
the hair
pretty
looked
good.
like shit.
Yes. It just looked out of place because it was Gronk, but that was a fine outfit.
Yeah. Outfit was fine. But he just generally looked bad, and everyone was like, "Oh boy, the internet's really gonna roast him on this one." And to Feidelberg's point, not one funny joke was made.
No.
It was just like, hey, this guy doesn't look that great.
Yeah.
Now let's move on. But people were like really trying to get it going. People were putting out the, hey, caption contest. Whoa, what do you think Rob Gronkowski does for a living? And I'm like, I can see from the monitors in the background and his setup, and there's
Football analyst
Right, it
with
looks
bad
like
hair.
there are other ex-athletes in suits near him. He probably talks about football on television. Did I win that meme? That was a really that was a really stupid one. But no, not because of Gronk or because of what I may or may not be wearing. It's the that guy got broken up with by Mark McGrath that I just saw 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, that was that video has gone quote unquote viral because somebody paid Mark McGrath whatever he charges for his Cameo
I immediately looked
account.
it up. $100.
$100.
Yes, and it made me think that we need to be doing more stuff with Cameo. Your greedy ass is probably thinking, cool, let's use Cameo to get people to give us $100 to do stuff. No, we should be spending $100
Hell yeah.
to get Mark McGrath to do stuff.
I'm 100% down.
And
with
I'm
that.
sure that Mark McGrath's
By the
price
way-
is going to skyrocket.
By the way,
What?
shove it up your ass because I'm not greedy. We've been asked to do Cameo, and I have said no.
Really?
Yes.
Have you been asked to do Cameo stuff?
Yes, we both have.
Really?
Through me. I don't know why everybody goes through me.
I am crazy about that.
Yeah, I know you are, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Cameo has asked us to do stuff, and I said absolutely not.
Wow. On the shove it up your ass topic, why did you... I changed phones recently, so I didn't have the Brunch Twitter account on my phone, and I just checked it the other day. I've been checking it by like searching "listen to Brunch," clicking on it, and seeing like what people like its responses. Well, why did you tweet for people to post their conversations about us?
Because somebody had tweeted us their like text message or whatever, and it was very funny. And I was like, I wonder what else exists like
Inspirations.
this.
See, like that is the. You
I know
had
you
to know
hate
I
it.
wasn't on board with that.
I knew you were gonna hate it, but it was like a Saturday night or something, and I was like, I was bored, and some of the results that we got were great.
I skimmed them, and it was my exact worst fear.
Yeah, I know.
95% of them were just about me. That's not what I want.
95% of them were great about you.
Oh yeah,
people love you.
I didn't take none of them. No, I didn't take it as like it was mean or anything.
You just
in
don't want to
any
know that people are talking about you.
biggest thing.
Yeah.
Don't look. Not to get too real. I don't like existing. Period. So, existing in any other way than I get in and out of my car and I go to the grocery store and I buy tortilla chips and I go home and I eat tortilla chips. Been eating a lot of tortilla chips lately. Side
tell.
note, that's all. That's as big and daunting as life should be. Even in general, like I've always had a thing of it's an insecurity. Everybody has them. That like I just assume that people are that people. I guess I assume that everybody talks shit about everybody, and I assume that people talk shit about me. Not in like not necessarily like loved ones or whatever, but you know.
Yeah.
Do you get that?
I mean, yeah, I assume that people talk
You're
shit about me.
you're like somewhere out there. There's like some people that I may or may not know that just think I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
And
I would prefer not to see it.
right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I know that it happens, and it's going to happen no matter what. You can't please everybody, especially like I'm sure that we rub people the wrong way. We have those kind of personalities.
Hell yeah.
It's just going to happen. But I
don't know.
care.
It's weird. I'm not articulating it right. Like, just the idea of anybody talking about.
I think that you don't want to like ever have.
You're gonna get this. Whatever you're about to say, you're gonna get it right. I know that this is gonna be correct.
I think that you do not want any outside forces like changing the way that you approach anything.
I could be on board with that. Yeah.
And so like you don't want to know that like people are talking about. You don't have to think about like the way that somebody might perceive something.
Oh no! Definitely not. Well, that goes in one ear, out the other. Shout out, one of my good friends reached out the other day, who listens to the podcast, and she was like, "I've just got to say it. There's only one thing that's really ever bugged me about your podcast. Don't like the ad reads. Don't like the ad reads."
Well, great news for that person.
Right, that's what I said. I was like, well, Hugh, today is your lucky next 3 years. Because but I said back to, I was like, that's obviously cool. I could see why people wouldn't like them. I know
you're certainly not the first.
Like
you're not the first person that's expressed
I know
you don't like them.
Groups and organizations that don't like them. So you're certainly not alone. But I was like, those are actually where I think sometimes the podcast is at its most creative. So
where the podcast separates itself from a lot of other podcasts.
Right, a lot of wimpy ass podcasts just reading copy.
Yeah.
We're
we
like,
separate
you know what?
ourselves by
Let me fix
not
that
having
for
ad
you.
reads.
Exactly. Well, we've got some ad reads. Shout out Porches.
Yes.
Just really Porches. We'll remember Porches as the ones that stuck by us in these times. I did, but yeah, I did skim the conversations. Nothing was too deep or crazy or anything. One person was like, "This is why I hate DJ," and I was like, "Finally!" And then it was. I think she said that
she said that I was like a better lesbian than she
her,
was. Yeah, so she quickly followed up by saying, "I do not hate DJ."
Right, but I took that as like it's
a compliment.
That's one of those compliments you just like don't know what to do with. You're like, can I even accept this compliment, or am I? Am I being an asshole am I being condescending if I accept this compliment? I think that in context it was legitimately at its core a compliment, but I don't know. It wasn't reading those. It wasn't the end of the world because it wasn't like I don't know what I thought that it could be. But just like that's just something I don't like. The idea of like read that you a while back. This was probably years ago. You were like, we should have a subreddit. And I was like, we absolutely shouldn't,
because you knew that you would read it.
No, I would never read it.
Oh, but then why not?
I wouldn't want a community for. I don't want to encourage people talking about us.
Oh, you're the absolute worst.
I want people to say if you want to talk about the podcast. How about this? If you want to talk about the podcast, tell people to check it out. Don't say if it's good. Don't say if it's bad. Keep our names out your mouth.
You want to talk about the podcast? Get your own podcast.
Put some respect on our name, and that's it. All you do is just say, "Hey, listen to Brunch." You don't say, "What do they do?" That's none of my business. They're their own people. That's their podcast. I did meet 2 Chord Bruntouchables this past week.
Yes, Stanislaus and Rachel.
Yes, it was amazing.
The OGs.
Yeah, real. I told them I was probably weird. I was like, wow, you guys are like...
You're probably more excited to meet them than they were you.
Without a doubt. They were totally aware of it. I was like, yeah, like when Pete and I talk about Bruntouchables, if we're like, what would so-and-so think about it? There's like 7 or 8 names we've got. And you two are in heavy rotation. Yep. Probably Stanislaus is up there.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's a name you don't...
No. He's also like really good friends with a kid that I went to high school with. So it's a strange connection there.
Interesting.
But he's the best. Also, speaking of porches and speaking of Core Bruntouchables, we got a gift this week. We got a gift from our guy Joe Capone from Lumberland Company, which is like the bat mug.
Careful.
Things.
This isn't a
It's
read
not an
because
ad
it's
read.
not funny.
It's
so
not
go
an ad
on.
read. It's an actual like genuine thank you.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of those bat mugs. It's a mug that's carved out of a baseball bat. He sent us it's a brunch one, and then on the back it says, "My other mug is a porch,"
which is amazing because our fans. This is actually kind of a big moment for me. I've always wanted us to have bootleg merch going on.
Yes.
And one of our listeners beat us to the punch on something we were actually going to make merch.
Yes.
So like this wasn't like some weird, crazy thing like not worth making into merch that someone made into merch. Time Crisis has that going on. Very jealous of that. There's a big Time Crisis
bootleg merch
community.
Market.
Yes, and they just make bootleg merch, and
I would love black market brunch merch just to see
That's
like
what I'm
what
saying.
would come out of it.
Start making
but
some-
I would have like an anxiety and a fear that like it would be really bad merch and people would like think that it was our merch.
well, then I think that you genius. You just got us to where we need to be, which is we should start selling bootleg merch on our website that's very bad, and you can tell that it's bootleg merch because it's so bad. Actually, I shot we're going to have a new shirt coming out soon. Can't say what it is because I just don't know if it's going to be in the store yet, but I sent the design over to Ryan, and the only hint I'll give you is, I think I sent it to you, it's bad.
A lot of your ideas are bad. I don't know which this
But
could
it's
be.
like it's the best shirt. This thing will fly.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a good idea.
Ideally, it's like the
It's a
first
good
in
idea
a
that's going to
series.
look terrible in execution,
Yes.
which is the joke.
And it's a riff on something that already yields a lot of why does that exist? And this is a way of making it a little weirder and a little uglier, and I'm very excited about it. So hopefully for T-Gives, Black Friday, whatever,
Keep an eye out.
we'll have some stuff in there. Maybe we'll toss you a $5 sale.
Also, quick little update on the Patreon fundraiser.
Yeah.
Hey, we did it. You guys did it.
We got there. We got a tenth of the way.
We did it
We've now
ourselves.
hit 100 subscribers,
107.
900 more, and then you get a holiday song.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
We missed a 0 on the initial goal.
I'll tell you, at least 2 or 3 of the ones we picked up were my friends who were like, hey, I know you. You're probably excited to do this thing anyway, but eventually it's going to feel like work, and then you're not going to want to do it. So while you're excited to do it, I'm going to fund it, and then you're going to have to do it, and that's probably going to feel like work, and this is going to suck for you. It hasn't necessarily gotten to that part yet, but
How far along are you?
a couple months.
Wait, you told me that you.
I'm joking.
Okay.
You said, how far along are you?
Oh, okay. Well,
Joke about
pregnancy.
a pregnancy.
You nailed it. Yeah.
Yes.
Did you? Because you told
Song
me
is written.
But you told me that you weren't going to start working on it until we actually hit the goal.
Right. Wasn't going to start like
On the music.
like tracking it or
Okay.
anything.
What's our ETA for the Patreon people?
The holidays. The
Well,
holiday
they only come once a year.
coming. The holidays. It's that holiday song. But let me think. When we decided that it would be a fundraiser thing or a Patreon thing, and one that would be easily hit, I was texting with you. The song. Maybe this is a bad sign. Song was written very quickly.
Well, guess what? The song writes itself.
Right, exactly. So that's literally what it was. Just like sitting with a guitar, thinking like, "Hey, what are Christmassy sounding things?" Like, there's a little clip I posted on Instagram. It's very old Christmas song type of vibe. So the chords and like the actual song, pretty easy to knock out. Arranging it that's where I am now. Arranging it. And that's the chorus and bridge and another part are done. Wonderful. Boom. Don't need anything else. But then there are a couple of parts that dynamically I'm trying to get right. But that is.
But you're hard at work.
I am legitimately working on it.
You're in the studio.
I'm working on it as though somebody. As how somebody would work on something. I don't know, any of you out there, I don't know if you got any workers in the building. I'm taking out my computer, taking out my stuff, my old equipment, and I'm trying to
You're down in the coal mines.
Make a little progress here and there. I love working on stuff. That's a little secret thing about me.
Unless it's yourself.
Yeah. I don't know. I keep myself afloat. I wouldn't say I work on myself.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I really used that knee injury, which still hasn't gotten better, as a I can't lift anymore thing.
Okay.
Which, I don't know if we had any working doctors in the building, knee way below the arms.
Yeah, but there are a lot of lifting exercises that you do need lower body strength and lower body stability. I think
that I did learn. I think part of the reason why this injury, which I know the what was it, the Where Is Brunch Twitter account. This again goes back to the keep my name out your mouth thing. The Where Is Brunch Twitter account really wanted to know exactly what the injury was, and that's if you ask me hey, what does DJ stand for? I get very defensive, and I'm why? What are you trying to do here? So, won't say what the injury is because I'm a fucking weirdo.
I think Where's Brunch, by the way, retired from the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Good.
We have had some.
We don't want to celebrate the demise, but
no, I mean
it was fine.
I like Where Is Brunch's probably actual person.
Where
Is Brunch is probably, would that be called a burner or an additional account?
I think that
probably
would be
an additional account.
An additional account, yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate the Brunch Out of Context account way more. The Brunch Out of Context account is you want to talk about working on stuff.
That's all.
They're constantly outputting things, and I don't even know where half of them come from.
Do you follow it?
Yes.
I don't. I see it retweeted sometimes. I see it retweeted sometimes by either you or Brunch. And
who else would it be?
I like them. I just like the game of guessing who said it.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely never know. And sometimes even I'll be like, that sounds like something I would say. So I bet Pete beat me. I was getting to it. Maybe Pete said it, or maybe I don't know. We're turning into each other. But that's a good. I'll say that's a good account. And Where Is Brunch account is good too. I just thought hey, cool it on the HIPAA violations. Anyway, I did learn that part of the reason that injury was as bad as it was is because my core sucks.
Okay.
Been doing some PT.
Did you not do core when because I gave you the Make DJ White Again plan and had core.
I've done everything on there. Yeah,
okay.
I've done everything on there.
So you're saying my plan sucked?
No. The plan's great. I got to get back to it. I did. I've been doing the stationary bike for a couple minutes here and there, and when I go to do it, I'm like, you know what? I'll head over to the bench. Let him know he hasn't left completely.
You gonna get a Peloton for Christmas? Because
no,
those ads are fucking
do you
everywhere.
Do you know about this?
No.
I hate Peloton.
Why? Well, I hate them too. I think everybody hates them now based on these
just told me don't say I hate Peloton because at some point you never know if you're going to be in business with them. If they're going to be an advertiser or whatever. But I'll say.
But also, everything that you say that you hate on this podcast, 2 years later, you're going to be a Peloton guy in 2 years. That's just booked it.
I don't know. I think that my experience with the Handlebar Cycling Studio, which has not seen this guy in quite some time because of his stupid knee, but once it works again, if ever my body sucks, I'll be back. My experience there has been such a positive thing. And not just hey, I got a place to go spin and everything. Everyone there is
the community.
So nice. It is community to the letter. And it totally made me understand very quickly why people
like the
get
cult
obsessed
stuff.
with like whether it's Soul Cycle or these things, like with these people who go religiously to these classes. I totally get it because it's good people. You're supporting a small business. Soul Cycle, that doesn't count. I've never been to Soul Cycle anyway. But like you're supporting a small business. It's you feel like a part of something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's great. And again, Boston people, if you're ever looking for a place to go exercise, make some friends, whatever, can't recommend Handlebar enough. I look at the Peloton thing, and I'm like, man, these people are totally missing out on the fun part of like going to these classes. And also, they're not supporting small business. They're like probably doing the opposite. Like, I don't know how
for rich assholes.
Peloton?
Yeah. Man. I would imagine that's exactly
Are they
who
expensive?
It's for. Yeah, I think they're like $2,500.
Man, yeah. See, why would you do that? And I understand that it can be a little prohibitive time wise when to go to like workout classes, because if it's like a 45-minute class, legitimately between getting there, showering, and everything, you're looking at like blocking off like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's easier to just wake up and roll out of bed, hop on your Peloton in your house, do like an hour workout, and then go shower and go to work.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. I got a lot of healthy food in my home. I've also got some tortilla chips. Just because I've got that healthy food, am I always doing the healthy thing and doing the right thing?
No, but did you pay $2,500 for that healthy food?
That's true. You don't want to let that healthy. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Hey, this is Pete Blackburn presents winning the analogy. Didn't see that coming. Good job.
Thanks.
No, but it's true. Like I could totally see a Peloton, just like any old treadmill or exercise equipment. That people used to be notorious for that. They'd sell you a Nordic track, knowing this guy's never going to use a Nordic track.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that plenty of Pelotons go to waste because they're bought by rich assholes,
right?
Who
they're
just put them in there and they sit in their basement or something.
This is just a thing that we're supposed to have. Speaking of rich assholes,
I would get Well,
we are talking about Knives Out, but not yet. Go ahead.
I was gonna say one thing that like I'm very rarely interested in like the workout at home like community stuff. Like his Peloton is supposed to be that sort of like
good, more online friends, just what we fucking need.
I had a teeny bit of interest in that thing like Mirror. Have you seen that?
What's that?
It's like a mirror on the wall, but like if you stand in front of it, it like turns into a workout thing, and it will change from a mirror to basically like instructional workout.
And it shows
stuff.
you what to do.
Yeah, and
I could do. Does it talk about your form?
I don't know.
Let's hope not.
But I was like, that seems like a cool idea, but I don't want anything looking into my house.
Right.
I don't want like there's got to be like a camera part of that because it's a mirror.
But that's where dude, your oven has a camera looking at you.
No, it doesn't. My oven barely works.
I'm just saying
there's no escaping it at this point.
You want to know the craziest shit about me? I have this is listeners. You want some material for your texts, you fucking busybodies. I have a Sonos One, whatever it's called, in my bedroom.
What is that?
It's you know what a Sonos is?
That's like a speaker thing, isn't it?
Sonos is the speaker system where you put one in every room and you control on your phone where it's playing.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing. Got one in few rooms on the old home front, but it's got like I have it disabled, but it's got the like yo play whatever. I've had that for like a year. That's crazy to me. That was me just giving up. I remember I used to be so weirded out by people who would get like Alexa stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
now we're so far gone.
I'm strongly against the Alexa stuff.
Do you? So you don't have any of that?
I don't have any of that, and I won't get any of it. But like that's what I heard. Like they have like watches that do that now.
Yeah,
and like that is literally just inviting anybody to listen to any of your conversations. And I know that's stupid to say because we carry our phones around all the time. I was going to say
everything's listening anyway. That's why I eventually gave in.
I love my Xfinity remote, which you can just like speak into and ask for stuff. That's great, but I'm sure that fucking can listen whenever it wants to too.
Oh, everything can listen. Not the Xfinity remote. The Xfinity, everything above board. Shout out Xfinity. If
true.
you don't have Xfinity, you are missing out because those remotes are very good. They, unlike other like listening remotes, when you say something into it, it
works.
knows what you're saying. Sometimes I'll mispronounce stuff just to screw around, or
sometimes
I'll, like,
I mix in like a funny accent. Sometimes can't slip one by that remote.
Yeah, so shout out Xfinity for
not
sponsoring.
A sponsor.
Well, sponsors my life.
Yeah, that's true. Have you bought any movies on Xfinity? Because
I did this morning.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Beyond that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a movie buyer.
I am.
You bought the physical copy of Mamma Mia though, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you bought the digital version?
I got the digital version of Mamma Mia. I've got like
I own
kind of got
two.
a few. I got the I got the classics.
I own two. That's
Mamma
it.
Mia. I've got some or multiple John Wicks, Sing Street, Chef, and now because you said we're going to talk about this the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yes.
I knew nothing about it. You said it's a feel-good movie.
Yes.
And I was like, it's a feel-good movie. Pete really likes it. You said that it's in like the Paddington type of level. So I was like, I'm not going to spend $6 to rent this when I'm going to like it enough to watch multiple times.
Yeah.
So I bought it sight unseen.
I bought it. I've watched it 3 times. This is the highest praise.
Did you buy it without seeing it?
Yes.
Just raw dogged it?
Yes.
Wow.
I love Shia LaBeouf. That's a secret about me. And
cool.
So I was very, very interested in seeing this movie. I've watched it 3 times, and this is the highest praise that I could possibly give it. Mm-hmm. It is possibly my new Paddington.
Wow. Where you're just going to run that into
I'm going to
the
run
ground.
it into the ground.
Hell
and
yeah.
I cannot stop thinking about it. So I watched it like a month ago, or maybe like 3 or 4
How did you not bring it up?
ago. I don't know.
I don't know. Heard of the movie until like a day ago.
I tweeted about it like 3 weeks ago or something like that, and I kind of just let it go. I was like, "Oh, that was a really nice movie." And then I watched it this past weekend, and the second time that I watched it, I liked it like twice as much.
Wow.
And I rarely rewatch newer movies. Mm-hmm. Watched it, liked it twice as much, watch it the next day or 2 days later, and I was like, I'm like very close to being obsessed with this movie.
Here's the praise that I will give it. And I watched it this morning. It is really mainly because of the genre of film. It is legitimately impossible to not like. There is no way
I got
somebody has
response on
seen
Twitter.
that movie and said, unless they are to say like it's too light, because it's light as a feather, just good feels. In a nutshell, it's about a fuck up helping somebody and making themselves better in the process. What easier a formula to make a person feel good and feel hopeful and feel like there's not a lot of phones in the movie.
No.
It's just it's
very pure.
Like ultimate feel good stuff.
Yeah. It's like a modern day Mark Twain, and there are a lot of parallels.
Well,
there's
it's an adventure film.
Yes. And like it references Mark Twain too.
Yeah. So it's Shia LaBeouf is
What is that,
outlaw
like a
would be
redneck?
he's a
southern
he's a guy in the South who not doing so hot
and not high class.
He steals for a living, and he kind of he screws people over for a living, gets in a bad spat and really has to go on the run, and an orphan with Down syndrome, right?
Yep.
Who is staying in an old folks home because the state doesn't know where to put him, wants to be a wrestler and wants to take wrestling classes. So he runs away, and these two meet up and Shia LaBeouf ends up having to care for this guy, and Dakota Johnson, who, thank God, I hit pause like 45 minutes into the movie and texted you, and I was like, thank God I get to watch something with Dakota Johnson where they let Dakota Johnson be good. I'm not saying that her career is totally everybody else's fault, because sometimes she's just not that great and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
but I know she's got it in her.
Yeah, I saw her in what's it called, Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yeah,
like she was okay. She was fine.
Right. That was like.
But this is the first time that I've ever watched anything with Dakota Johnson. Been like, wow, Dakota Johnson was really good in this.
Excellent.
She was very, very.
Everybody,
good in this.
all three were excellent in it. So she's the like a social worker who's looking for this kid.
Yeah, and this seemed like very much her. Like a character that she should be playing, and she really thrived. She looked great too. Like, you've always loved her, but like, man, she looked awesome in this.
I put her in the like impossibly amazing looking category.
Yeah, I mean, like they were all great. Shia LaBeouf is no joke. One of my favorite actors on the planet right now.
He's awesome in this. Have you seen Honey Boy?
Yeah. No, I haven't. I haven't seen Honey Boy.
I never saw that.
I saw it that like just came out. That's his like
last couple months, I think.
No, I think it's just been hyped for like the last couple months. I think they came out pretty recently.
Paul Williams saw it.
Maybe it has.
I was listening
release
to
date over.
No, he's I don't know. Breaking news. He's in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought Honey Boy was coming out pretty recent.
But they do a segment on
release date November 8th, 2019.
Okay, so yeah, they do a segment on Advanced Analytics where Paul reviews a movie that he's seen. And he was like, a recent episode, he was like, well, I saw 3 movies recently. So I'm going to give you all 3 real quick. And I was like, oh, awesome. I see movies. Let's see what we think of this guy. And he said 3 movies that like I never seen. Or 2 of them I hadn't even heard of. One was like The Family something. No clue what he was talking about.
What's it? Marriage Story?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
It's supposed to be a really, really good one.
Yeah, I think he said that one was good.
Okay.
Yeah, and he said that Honey Boy was fantastic.
Okay.
So
yeah, everybody's saying that Honey Boy is really good. I mean, if it's as good as this one, good for Shia LaBeouf putting out 2 absolute bangers in the course of like 6 months.
Yeah, good for him. Shout out people. If people don't know, one of my favorite bands ever, short-lived band called Tally Hall from University of Michigan. They're awesome. They put out 2 albums, and then after they've just kind of done stuff here and there. Andrew Horowitz is brother of music journalist Stephen Horowitz, but Andrew is now a producer. He does stuff. He did something. He did stuff on the John Legend album that everybody loved. I think he did some stuff on Dirty Computer. But Rob Cantor is one of the guys and one of the singers from Tally Hall. He made a video. He wrote a song called Shia LaBeouf after the band kind of broke up, or I don't know if the band ever technically broke up, but he made a song called Shia LaBeouf, and then years later he did a big theatrical video for the song, and I'll tell you, you've all seen it, because it ends with Shia LaBeouf in the audience by himself getting up and clapping, and that turned into a very famous GIF.
Yes.
That's from Rob Cantor's Shia LaBeouf. I would say, do you know what I'm talking about?
I know the GIF.
All right, I'm going to stop and make you watch, but I would estimate 50% of listeners maybe. Hey, tell us where y'all sitting. Tweet at the Morning Buzz. Tell us whether or not you've seen the Shia LaBeouf thing. All right, I'm going to make Pete watch now.
Running for your life from Shia LaBeouf. He's brandishing a knife. It's Shia LaBeouf. Lurking in the shadows. Hollywood superstar Shia LaBeouf. Living in the woods. Shia LaBeouf. Killing for sport. Shia LaBeouf. Eating all the bodies. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Tremendous. Right?
Yeah. That's so good. Holy shit.
Those guys,
I can't believe I'd never seen that before.
That's wild. I mean,
65 million views on YouTube.
When that song first came out, I remember that was like early on in the Twitter days, I think.
That's not a song. That is a production.
No, when he first came out with the song, like just called Shia LaBeouf. There was just like a studio version of that song. It's called Shia LaBeouf. And it's all about actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. And that song got like quite a bit of buzz. And I probably had like 1,000 Twitter followers, but I was like pimping the fuck out of that. I was like, everybody better listen to this every second of every day because it's fucking awesome. He ended up, that same guy ended up making another very viral video. It was, he sang one of his original songs doing only celebrity impressions, and the impressions were incredible. And he was just going one to the next, one to the next. It was so good. Ellen wanted to have him on, and he declined. And it was because it was like the hardest anyone has ever worked on a hoax. He gathered like all of these celebrity impersonators. I'm gonna make you watch this too, and had them all like sing it, and they piece it together. And this was like the original deep faking, I guess.
Oh, really?
And like with editing, he probably spent like thousands of dollars. It was like the funniest thing in the world, and he made it look. What was the song called? Type in Rob Cantor perfect.
29 celebrity impressions, one original song, Rob Cantor.
And they made like a big behind, like a making of. So like one day they announced, it was amazing.
That's so good. Holy shit.
Yeah, and like people who follow, like they were popular. That band was popular, but not super popular. But I was like, I'm pretty sure if he could have done all those things, like they would have busted that out at a show at some point. But I wish he had. I forget how he. Oh yeah. He revealed it with like a big like making of video where like he gathered like all the people who did it, and Melissa Villaseñor was one of them. But I always thought like he should have gone on Ellen and like bombed.
That would have been so funny.
How funny would that have been if he like tried to go out there doing like Bjork impressions? And
I mean, the Gwen Stefani one was laugh out loud funny,
right? But like they in the video they show like that they did like crazy editing to like.
I mean, I would imagine
like, shape
so.
Stuff and to like shape his mouth or
whatever. Oh, really?
Like, I don't know if it was necessarily that, but like they really like down to
you have to
like seat like creaks and everything. Like they made like everything check out. And when you watch it, knowing that it's a hoax, you're like, yeah, he's not doing this.
Yeah, but you could definitely buy that. Like if you were watching that like raw for the first time.
Yeah, it was crazy. So shout out Rob Cantor if you guys haven't heard of him. And that band Tally Hall, man, they were so good. I'll toss some of them on the playlist. I tossed some Wilco on the playlist recently because for some reason a movie that I really like to watch is the documentary about Wilco when they're making Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. And this is probably like the first time I've ever talked about Wilco on the podcast. I'm not that big of a Wilco fan. I'm like
I mean, people who are Wilco fans will let you know.
Right. Yes, you would know if I were a Wilco fan because I'd be there are I would say like I have two friends who are huge Wilco fans who are in the rare club of like respectful Wilco fans. Wayne is a respectful Wilco fan, but he loves Wilco. Mm-hmm. He's not going to shove it down your throat.
Yeah.
You want to talk Wilco with him? He's for sure game, but he's not like, oh, everything reminds me of, he's not getting Wilco mentionitis. And my friend Dave Lefkin from the band Foxtrotter, who is a big Wilco fan.
You know who's a big Wilco fan?
Jeff Tweedy?
No, but
I don't think I think that like Jeff Tweedy would like fall into the category of like not a big fan of himself.
Richard Linklater?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then I've definitely talked about Wilco on this podcast because that moment in Boyhood when he's pointing out
you talked about that. You talked about that.
Hated
You're like,
Here.
that was like a real like
I have done that
for you.
so many times. And I was watching the movie with someone. I had done that too, and they were like, "What the fuck is this? Where'd you bring me?"
Oh yeah,
I love that song. I was playing that song on guitar this morning. "Hate It Here" by Wilco. I added it to the playlist, but that's such a great song.
Speaking of music and Peanut Butter Falcon, like the moment that I really knew that I was in on Peanut Butter Falcon the first time was the fire scene where the stable song plays.
Oh,
the stable song is like one of my favorite songs, and
really,
yeah, I fucking love that song. And it started playing, and that's like when. It's like I don't want to ruin the movie, but it's like a very like important scene.
Oh yeah,
and like the way that plot's going, and it was like such the perfect song for that moment, and the camera work is great, and Shia LaBeouf just nails it acting wise without saying a word.
So you said the camera scene, much like Chef, this is a very easy feel-good story that looks great.
Yeah.
Like the movie has so many. I mean, the camera work's good too.
It's got to be
Johnson
it's got to be a
being the
very
movie
low
joke.
budget movie. Like,
yeah.
I'm assuming that paying the cast is probably like a big portion of that movie, because you got two pretty heavy hitters in lead roles. But other than that,
yeah, but
you
I
got
could
the
see
third
them,
guy too.
Yeah, I could see them both. I don't know, guy from Eastbound and Down. He's not costing you anything. And I could see this movie. This is an independent movie, right?
Yeah.
So those don't pay anyway. So people, I think that Randy would know more than us. I think that people take those jobs knowing like this isn't going to pay a lot, but I'm going to be in this awesome movie that everybody loves.
Yeah. I
would guess
budget $6.2 million.
Oh wow, that's honestly more than I thought.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't know how much.
Well, you got to pay. What's his name? The sock guy, for the wrestler. What's the guy's name?
Oh, that guy that was in everything back in the day.
Yeah,
I forget. Are you asking his name in the Saltwater?
No, not that guy. The ref at the actual wrestling.
Oh,
match.
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's in this movie.
I recognize. That was like that was kind of an eye roll moment when I saw that. I was like. No, I was more with myself. I was like, "Oh, it's Mick Foley. Oh, cool. That's not that cool." Like, of course he was gonna.
It is kind of. It's cool. Like for
way
the
cooler
moment.
that Del the Funky Homo Sapien was in mid '90s than that Mick Foley was in this wrestling movie. Yeah. This here's the thing.
Tremendous movie.
This movie, I loved it, and I loved that recently we were saying like. What really good movies have there been? How many movies have there been that really knocked your socks off? Like, we're wondering, like, is Joker one of the 3 best movies we've seen? And like, literally in 2 weeks' time, we've just been pummeled with great movies. Yeah. Like Joker, nowhere near my top 3, which is it shouldn't. But
that's
my
not
goal,
a slight against it. Like,
right?
I really liked Joker.
Right.
It shouldn't be in the top 3.
My goal is for Joker to fall outside of my top 10 for the year, and. I don't know if the streak of luck we've been having recently continues, then maybe it will. But I'll say that my top 4 is pretty set. It's not set. Like more can enter it. But I'm saying
you know what your 4 is right now.
I know my 4 is, and there's a drop off before you get to the 5, which right now my 5th would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, I would say that I know my 4, and Once Upon a Time would be my 4.
Okay, so my 4 in no particular order are Knives Out, which I think right now is 1. Midsommar, I think, so I'll say no particular order, but this is what the order it feels like right now. Knives Out, Midsommar, Parasite, and Peanut Butter Falcon. Mm-hmm. Peanut Butter Falcon only right now I would say is at the back of that pack is because it had such an easy time. Like, it's hard to make Midsommar an awesome movie. It's not hard to make that a feel-good story enjoyable to watch. But it was still unbelievable, and I still, like... I almost want to say, like, for what it was, it's 100 out of 100, but that feels like a bit of a slight. I loved it, though.
Yeah, so we have the exact same top 5. Because if I was going to throw in a 5, it would be Midsommar.
Okay.
I think that's my top 5, and I don't know, man. I've said basically all year that Last Black Man in San Francisco has been my favorite movie of the year.
I inexplicably still haven't seen that.
So we don't have the same top 5. Just kidding.
Right. I've got Knives Out, Parasite, Midsommar, Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah, so I would say the same thing there. So maybe Midsommar is out of my top 5. Maybe it's a 6 for me, because I'm going to put Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in there instead. So
how many movies would you say you've seen this year? By the way,
114.
Yeah, you really?
Yeah.
Have you been keeping track?
Yeah, because remember I told you.
I was wondering that the other day. Yeah. I started to jot down which movies I've seen, and this is just like a short list down. I've probably seen. Wait, like movies that came out this year?
Oh no. I movies I've seen this year that I haven't seen.
Oh,
before.
okay.
So I have like the.
I was gonna say
list.
I was gonna say if that number is higher than like 40, you're
like
probably
I've seen
lying.
everything.
Yeah. But yeah, so far I've seen Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Ad Astra, Always Be My Maybe, John Wick 3, Booksmart, Cold Pursuit, Happy Death Day to You, Yesterday, Pet Sematary, Good Boys, Crawl, Aladdin, The Lighthouse, Us, Godzilla, Spider-Man, Let It Snow, The Kitchen, Rocket Man, Lion King, It Chapter 2, Countdown, Ma, Ready or Not, Blinded by the Light, Hobbs and Shaw, Toy Story 4, Escape Room. Those are the only ones I can think of. There's probably like...
I'm sure, like, once I put my thing together, because I have it all in front of me, and you'll be able to see.
You do?
You'll be able to see which ones you've.
That's
seen.
in addition to the 5 I just named, by the way. But yeah, I was like, shit.
You wouldn't put Jojo Rabbit in your top 5 because I've seen a lot of people saying that's like one of their.
Jojo Rabbit's in the top 10 for sure. Okay. Jojo Rabbit might be 6 right after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but it's like close to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
But yeah, I mean, there's this is typically the season where you're getting the heavy hitters right before Oscars closes out.
Yeah,
it feels like kind of lacked last year in terms of like providing that punch, but I think we're gonna get it this year, and I'm very excited.
So we've now got the very challenging task of discussing Knives Out, which we both saw and thought was bloody incredible, but even talking about it spoiler-free, I have no idea how to say one word about this movie without tainting someone's thought process going into it. So we're going to be very careful. Like, honestly, I'll just say...
Well, anytime you talk about a whodunit movie...
Right.
And one, it has a ton of twists and turns, this movie does. So, like, even when you're saying something that doesn't necessarily like spoil the end, you could be spoiling some of the twists and turns that come before that.
Exactly. So let's speak in generalities and let's try to avoid because. Like I was going to say, it's a whodunit movie, but it's creative the way they lay it out for you because. But then the because would ruin, even if I'm speaking vaguely. Like it would totally fuck up somebody's time.
And this episode is actually coming out. It's going to come out presumably on Tuesday, and that's before the movie even comes out.
Right. So unless you were like the flossy like us, getting those exclusive screenings that
anybody could have got
to go to, they did come. Hey, we literally got the poster.
We did get the poster. We got the poster. So did everybody in the movie because everybody in the movie is on the poster except for one person,
Gary Tanguay.
No, not him.
I'm gonna go from here to work and have Gary sign my Knives Out poster. And let me tell you, folks, that is going to be like the happiest moment of his life.
That's awesome. No, there's like one character in the movie who's in the movie the entire time, and he doesn't get the poster. It's the.
Let me see. Let me look at the poster.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. There's two cops,
and he was
Keith
great.
Stanfield is one of them. There's another one, and for some reason he doesn't get the poster.
Stanfield's he's a detective?
Is it Keith Stanfield or Lakeith Stanfield? I know that he's gone by both, but I've seen him listed as both.
I've always called him Lakeith. Yeah. I prefer the name.
Yeah, it's a cool name.
Yeah, I prefer Lakeith to Keith. I did realize, and he's. I don't know. He doesn't play the most sensational character.
No.
But I'm like, man, you give that guy any job,
he's gonna kill it.
He's gonna take it where it needs to go.
Yeah. I mean, like, anytime you have a cast that is as good as this one, there's going to be at some point like a little disappointment with maybe they don't give them enough.
Right.
Maybe they don't get to flex as much as they normally would. They're going to be
underused. It's an embarrassment of riches. It's
right.
Like if
and you're never going to be upset, like because like Lakeith Stanfield didn't flex as much as he's capable of in this movie.
Totally.
But
he knows that.
He's still there.
Yeah.
And I'm still enjoying Lakeith Stanfield on screen. I'm not unhappy about it.
It's the We Are the World dynamic.
Right.
If you're going to go in there and you're not going to get a solo line, you got to be Lindsey Buckingham, just stand in the background in the choir. Look, are you going to have a longer lasting musical impact than Kim Carnes? Of course, and we all know it. But this isn't about you. This is about Africa. This is USA for Africa. Check your ego at the door. Come on in here. And let's make something unbelievable together.
I'm just happy that we've gotten to the point where Lakeith Stanfield is in a cast like this and gets the poster and gets proper billing and respect because Lakeith Stanfield is
he's been on
I don't
the
want to say
he
he's
was
like
on
as good as anybody, but like he's unbelievable.
He was on the brunch like watch list, like the hot 50 under 50.
Yeah, but that makes me
list.
feel stupid because I went back and I watched that movie with like him and Brie Larson, Short Term 12, and he was in that movie. And that movie came out like 6-7 years ago.
I didn't see that.
It's a fucking unbelievable movie. You have to watch it. It's one of the most underrated movies of the past like 10 years in my mind, because I hadn't found out about it until 2019. But he was in that one, and he was fucking amazing.
Really?
Yeah. So apparently he's been doing it for quite a while.
Oh yeah. Well, what was Lakeith's? It was he was Snoop. I was thinking like what was he in that in a small role that made people think no? Like 'cause I remember when he was in Get Out.
People are excited about it.
Like, I knew who he was at that point, and I was like, "Oh, awesome! He was in that. Now he's gonna be big." I guess it was just.
Because Sorry to Bother You came out afterwards, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lakeith Stanfield is.
Oh,
great.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I didn't watch Atlanta though.
He was in Atlanta. I think that's where a lot of people like started to love him.
So it was 2016.
He was in Dope. Selma.
Oh, maybe it may have been Dope. Anyway.
It was probably the Purge Anarchy because
that's right.
It's where you would have found him.
He is one of the. Although I can't even think of who he is in. It says
Young Ghoulface.
Yeah, that could be everybody's wearing.
That could
Everybody's
literally be anybody's.
Oh,
thing.
you mean a guy was wearing a crazy mask in the Purge Anarchy? Jeez, I remember my first Purge Anarchy. So we'll speak about it in generalities. We had very high expectations for this movie, and they were totally met. Mm-hmm. Love this movie. Can't wait to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again. This is probably gonna have a busy week ahead of me because Queen and Slim comes out. So, folks, no excuses. You're doing double features this weekend. Yeah, if you're going to see Knives Out, you better also be going to see Queen and Slim, because that looks amazing. And we've got a little inside information, which is that we've seen anything that Lena Waithe has done, and it's always fucking awesome.
Yep.
So Queen and Slim is going to be dope. Make sure you go and watch that. But we haven't seen that and have seen Knives Out. I'm just so scared of saying the wrong thing.
No, I mean, it is as fun as it looks in the trailer. And it
makes you think as much. It's like you've got some work to do.
It is perfectly advertised in the trailer, and I think that's the highest that you could speak to it because the trailers were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it like I said, I mean, the cast is amazing. Obviously, it under delivers in that
there's only one ball.
Right.
Yeah.
But like everybody is good in it.
Yeah. I don't begrudge like Jamie Lee Curtis barely does anything. She has a small role. And I'm like, so what do I want her to do then?
The kid from It like has no role in this movie.
Yeah,
and that was a sort of a bummer for me. That was like the biggest disappointment for me. Because I know we're avoiding because his character had the way that like his character was described.
His character tells part of the story, though. Everybody,
right, but like
however small,
so
everybody's character tells.
He plays an alt-right troll.
Yeah,
and that had a potential to be really funny.
Yeah,
and they didn't really. They had like one joke. It was like a one snowflake joke, and that was a bit disappointing for me. But that's basically it.
You want to talk about performances, though? Daniel Craig and Ana de Armas, both exceptional. Both I am totally cool with De Armas getting an Oscar nomination. Yeah.
Daniel Craig is fantastic. I feel like Daniel Craig somehow doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah, he falls in the somehow underrated. Where it's like everybody knows who he is, so he can't be underrated.
He is James Bond.
But do we really like give him enough? I agree with you.
Yeah, had. An interesting thing to think about is had Logan Lucky and this movie come out before he had gotten James Bond, would people have been like, he's too good for James Bond?
Yeah, he didn't get enough love for Logan Lucky, though. Nobody did.
I mean,
Logan Lucky ruled.
Logan Lucky was great, and he was fantastic in it. He was like he can do anything.
Shout out Randy Havens from Logan Lucky.
Daniel Craig can do anything. Like his comedic timing is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's great.
So yeah, I mean, he stole. I don't want to say that he stole the show because De Armas was amazing in this too. But both of them carried so much weight.
She might fall in a category of like.
I don't even
for
know
a while.
Who, what is she in?
I don't want to say held back, but her role. She's in War Dogs. She's in the. I believe a movie I've explained to you. If I haven't, I'll explain it to you right now. I've told you about Knock Knock. Do you know about Knock Knock?
I don't recall.
Keanu Reeves movie.
Oh yes,
two girls show up at his door.
He has sex with high schoolers or something.
Two girls show up at his door, seduce him, and then
they're like, "Ha, we're 17."
And they're like, "We're kids," and they start like killing people in front of him, and they rape him. It is the most
crazy.
It is one of the more fucked movies in the world.
Explain that to me. It was fucking wild.
Ever. It's directed by Eli Roth.
Oh,
and
right,
it's
yes.
and what the other girl in it, the other just monster of a person in it is Eli Roth's wife. And I'm like, man, I am not recommending you watch that movie. Sometimes it'll be like, hey, this is a stupid movie. You got to see what Bivens is up to with whatever. What's it called? Would You Rather? Like, I am legitimately saying,
don't watch this movie. It's upsetting.
If you go watch this movie, that's
on you.
It's nothing to do with me.
Well, I feel like that's the case for most Eli Roth movies. It's like, hey, if you're watching that movie, that's your fucking decision.
Look, man, you saw it right there. He got the poster. It said Eli Roth.
By the way, I gotta at least mention it. Elizabeth Banks, who I think we both love Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah,
but like. Charlie's Angels. I didn't realize that, like, in the marketing of Charlie's Angels, there was like a bus and like a poster. Her name's on it 3-4 times, and they don't even put the actresses' names on it.
Oh, she ganked the poster. Just straight up took it.
She didn't get the poster. She fucking stole the poster.
Sometimes you got to take the poster. Elizabeth Banks.
And her reaction, like when it bombed. I think
then she was like, I got nothing to do with that.
No, she did do that. She said, if you're going to bomb,
didn't see it.
She's like, that reaction, I don't want to even go there, but like, her reaction on Twitter was like, hey, if you're going to have a movie that bombs, at least be on the poster 4 times.
I love that.
I was like, oh, come on. Yeah, but sure, but like, fucking put your actresses' names on the poster.
Yeah, well, to each their own. She is
hogging the ball.
She's very. I don't know. Does she put herself on like Pitch Perfect posters and stuff?
I would imagine so. If she's putting it up is she making up for lost time here or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially when like I don't know how many movies she's directed, but
Elizabeth Banks would be a great guest.
Yeah,
mainly because we would just like have questions, not like, hey, let's talk about this.
We wouldn't interview her.
We'd
we'd interrogate her.
No, yeah, it's just like got some questions like. What would she primarily say? Is she like primarily like I guess generally like a filmmaker, and that would probably fall into like producer,
I feel
director.
Like she's just in the space.
Yeah,
like I don't know. Like I think that she's most known as an actress, obviously, but I don't know what she would classify herself as. She doesn't act very much anymore.
Is she like? I mean, Lena's better, but is she like a Lena type?
I would say so. Probably, yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. That like she was first on everyone's radar as an actress, and now she's making movies and stuff.
Yeah, but can she do it? That's the question. Because
like
Charlie's Angels stunk.
Pitch Perfect was good. Pitch Perfect was great.
The first one,
yeah.
Was the first one hers?
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, the first one was good. The rest, not so much. So, like, her batting average is not very good. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Pitch Perfect, directed by Jason Moore, produced by Paul Brooks, Max Handelman,
I think
and Elizabeth Banks.
I think she took over.
So she produced it, which the conversation has to end here because we have no idea what it means to produce a movie.
Yeah.
I know what it means to produce music. I know what it means to produce television. Producer, this has got people are going to
lose their shit, but like in movies, I don't take producers seriously.
Yes, exactly. Like producer is like kind of
that's an attachment.
It's like you might as well be an executive producer.
Right.
Executive producer, that's the real, like, that person didn't do anything.
Especially when there's, like, 8 producers on a movie. Like, I feel like for Elizabeth Banks' case, maybe it was like hey, I'll be in this movie if you throw me a producer credit.
Yeah. Lena's gonna. I don't know if Lena listens to the podcast. She's gonna hear this, and she's like probably best friends with Elizabeth Banks because she's best friends with
everybody.
No, but like I know some people where I'm like, man, you've got a crazy network on you. Like you've met everybody. Like my pal Luke Bonner has met everybody at some point in his life. But like Lena
knows everybody and has an Instagram picture with everybody.
Yes.
And like they're like hugging her way more passionately than she's hugging them. So like. Lena is beloved by fucking everybody.
Like I would bet you
she's hosting Ellen and stuff.
I
now.
would bet
crazy.
Oh, speaking of Lena, I was gonna hit her up to talk about Queen and Slim, but
I feel very uncomfortable trying to hit up Lena now, just because like
right. But she's still
dirt under her feet.
If I've ever like texted her about like something small or whatever, or like responded to whatever, like
she'll
get right back, and she's the best. But like I just know we've said this before, like. She is legitimately too good for us, and she wouldn't say that. She wouldn't. She'd be like, "Oh, like if I ever have time, I'd be happy." No, we're not even asking because, and you won't say this, and maybe you're so humble that you don't even understand it. But Lena, you're so too good for us. That's so cool though. That's like oh. See that buddy? See that guy that's like the see Bono? Yeah, I was his best friend growing up. It's like, hey, see that person who does everything? Used to voluntarily come on my podcast and screw around.
Not to pat ourselves on the back though, it's pretty cool of us to recognize that she's too big for us because a lot of people would be like trying to drag on those coattails.
That's true. Although I did when she won I like lightly. Tried to make some joke when she won an Oscar. I was like, Oscar? Wrong
Emmy.
word. When she won an Emmy, I was like, nice. Now let's work on that Powerline movie because we talked about making a movie about Powerline. Yeah. And she was like, thanks. And I was like, she's so too good. What if she was like, yeah, let's get to work. Let's get to work, you unexperienced everything.
I
watched Goofy Movie on Disney Plus.
Do you have Disney Plus?
No, but
definitely not.
you all you need to do is know somebody.
That's true.
Powerline is the Michael Jackson type in Goofy Movie.
You know who was great in Knives Out, and you know who I absolutely fucking love?
Who?
Toni Collette.
Oh yeah,
Toni Collette is fucking amazing.
She was great.
She was great in like everything.
Yeah, she was very, very terrific.
She was hilarious in this movie.
Did you know on the Ana de Armas thing?
Yeah.
She was a big character and cut completely, shot the whole thing, and she was cut out of the movie. They cut all of her scenes in editing, leaving this movie to have a kind of confusing love storyline. And when I read this the other day, I said, oh my God, it makes all the sense in the world. You're going to freak out.
What?
If you can get this, you're going to know. Once I say it, you're going to be like, yes, we had this conversation. Do you remember seeing a movie this year where we were like, what the hell was that love storyline? That was so stupid. And then they forced it together at the end. Were we supposed to think that this was what they were trying to do? This was exactly what we said about the movie Yesterday. The Beatles movie?
Yeah.
Remember we were like, why did they keep like bringing around what's her face, Lily James's character, and making it like there was like a love story between them when it never really seemed like there was. And then at the end, apparently, Ana de Armas plays a character that he meets as he's becoming famous and like starts to date her, and then Lily James's character realizes like she's in love with him, and he realizes he's in love with her, and they're battling this love triangle, but the movie just edited out one part of the love triangle. So then like awkwardly at the end of the movie, it's like, well, I've loved you the whole time, and I've loved you. We're like, that's why those characters were in them. What the hell is this movie? Where did Ed Sheeran go?
I mean, like there were like hints of like romanticism there, but it was definitely
right. But we were like,
they were definitely
we're like they're going to get together and break up because
Right.
We haven't seen any reason as to why they should be together. But
that's wild.
So I guess they didn't give those two enough time forming like a loving bond or anything or any sort of romance because they were using that on the Ana de Armas character. But then they cut out that character, so they just had two characters who never really seemed into each other,
right?
Or there seemed any reason for them to be into each other. Just at the end, realizing it. That movie was clunky as shit, man.
That movie was quite.
That
bad.
almost made me feel better though. Like knowing that it's like a snowman type thing.
Yeah.
That like, oh, it's just they didn't really make the movie.
Yes,
got it.
Yeah, that does make sense.
But you want to talk about making up for lost time? De Armas did it in this movie.
Absolutely.
She was excellent. Everybody was so good.
The shots were fucking. There's like one shot that was like unbelievable. Maybe shot of the year with Daniel Craig standing in front of the knives. You've probably
when he hatches it. Oh no! When he says
he's standing in front of like that knives board thing or whatever, and there's a negative
play.
space in the middle of it, and there's the sun behind him, and it's just like a light, and his head fits perfectly in that hole between all the knives, and it just
made
looks
for a trailer.
So cool,
made for a trailer.
Yes,
so good. He I guess we'll give this spoiler. There's a scene with donuts that is so good.
Yes, very, very funny.
This is another thing that I can share without it being
the house
a spoiler.
is great.
House is awesome. That's shot in Waltham, was it?
No, really?
Shot in Massachusetts.
He was in Waltham shooting a movie. I don't know if it was shot in Waltham, but that is.
I mean, Gary Tanguay's in the movie.
That's true,
and I don't think he hit the road for it.
If that house is in Waltham, that'd be sick.
Gary Tanguay, by the way, non-Boston listeners, is my coworker. He's like a longtime sports anchor, and he also is an actor.
Marlboro.
And he's got the pipes of God, and he's the coolest, nicest guy in the world. He's like he would just like exist well in any time. He's the greatest. So he's in that movie and really good. But the thing I was going to say is this is Chris Hemsworth sweater porn.
Oh yes,
boy, oh boy. I'll tell you who did it. It was Chris Hemsworth. He murdered the sweater.
No, he didn't, because that was Chris Evans.
Fuck! I was so proud of myself. In my head, I was like, dude, you are confidently getting Hemsworth or Evans thing right. You finally got there. Really?
It's Chris Evans, yeah.
Are you fucking with me because
no,
you know I never get those right?
No, dead serious. It's Chris Evans. Look it up. Go ahead.
I'm just going to read it off you.
It's Chris Evans.
Yeah, you seem confident.
Yeah.
It was Chris Evans?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah. It's Chris Evans. Chris Evans is very difficult for me to figure out. I can't tell if he's good or not. Like he was handed Captain America.
I can't tell
and he's done well with it.
Who he is.
But I'm still not.
Who's Chris Hemsworth?
He's Thor.
Oh, is he Bad Times the El Royale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
yo, guys, one of you's got to go.
but he wears the hell out of sweaters. He plays like the ungrateful rich son
perfect
so well. It looks like it's so weird that Chris Evans can go from like, oh, he's like the sweet nice guy, and like, oh, he's the perfect all-American guy, and then
what's
also
he in?
He plays Captain America.
Chris Evans does.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he plays this guy, and you're also like, oh, that's so perfect. He's such a piece of shit.
And so this is
such a rich piece of shit.
This is in a different universe?
Yes.
All right. This
exists
third spoiler.
In the Knives Out universe.
This exists outside of the Marvel universe. This is. Have you watched the Mandalorian yet?
I have.
What do you think of it?
I think it's very good. You're a big Baby Yoda fan, I can tell.
I am. Oh shit! That's what I should do. I should be a Mandalorian fanatic, not watch any other Star Wars stuff.
You know what the Mandalorian is?
Freak out about the Mandalorian.
You know what the Mandalorian is? It is basically
it's like a little guitar.
Yes, it's basically exactly John Wick, just in Star Wars.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because the Mandalorian is essentially like a bounty hunter / hitman, and
he's gonna kill Baby Yoda.
No, but let's consider Baby Yoda the dog in this case. Where they're trying to like,
someone kills
Baby Yoda, and instead he.
So it's like Lord of the Rings.
No,
they're all trying to get the baby Yoda.
Okay. Yeah,
and then like having the baby Yoda makes him crazy enough to be in this stupid show.
Yes.
Oh, have you watched it?
Yes, it's very good.
Ugh,
I don't think you'd like it.
You nailed that.
I got a couple Knives Out jokes. I won't do a full.
Wait, ladies and gentlemen, we've now spoken about Knives Out here with the comedy set on Knives Out. Pete Blackburn, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
hold on. I'm gonna stop talking now, so I can't give you more direction. Just go from here.
Hello, folks. This is my stand-up debut. So I just want to let you know that I only completed half my set. So we're running late on time anyway. So I'll just make it a quick few. So Knives Out, huh? What is this? Stranger Things? Because the will is ruining everybody's time. Knives Out. More like dicks out because I can't stop pulling my pork to this movie. That's all I got. Thanks for coming out, everybody.
Hey, I think
that first joke. I wrote that first joke and I was like, that's good enough.
First joke killed.
Oh yeah, I should have ended with that one.
Can I give some quick feedback?
Yes.
I would take the mic off the stand.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd maybe
pace a little bit.
Not a ton. You don't got to Seinfeld.
I was a little stiff.
Yeah, a little stiff. You use your notes, I would say, as more of like
a crutch
for like reference points. So like, your note, instead of having the joke written out, would be great is if it said Stranger Things, and then what was the second joke that did okay?
Dicks Out.
So Stranger Things, Dicks Out. So you look at Stranger Things, you know what that joke is, and you're off. You're making eye contact with the audience.
Fair enough.
You're pick someone in the audience as like, this is the space where I'm going to look, or something, and then go from there. But I'll tell you, the material was good.
Thanks.
The first joke killed.
Crushed.
First joke got huge laughs.
Yes.
So keep at it, and
something to build off of.
I look forward to your Queen and Slim jokes.
You're walking in the woods. There's no one around, and your phone is dead. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot him. Shia LaBeouf. He's following you, about 30 feet back. He gets down on all fours and breaks into a sprint. He's gaining on you.
Shia LaBeouf.
You're looking for your car, but you're all turned around. He's almost upon you now, and you can see there's blood on his face. My God, there's blood everywhere.
Running for your life from Shia LaBeouf. He's brandishing a knife. It's Shia LaBeouf. Lurking in the shadows. Hollywood superstar Shia LaBeouf. Living in the woods. Shia LaBeouf. Killing for sport. Shia LaBeouf. Eating all the bodies. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Now it's dark, and you seem to have lost him. But you're hopelessly lost yourself, stranded with a murderer. You creep silently through the underbrush. Aha! In the distance, a small cottage with a light on. Hope. You move stealthily toward it, but your leg! Ah! It's caught in a bear trap!
Gnawing off your leg.
Quiet, quiet.
Limping to the cottage.
Quiet, quiet.
Now you're on the doorstep. Sitting inside. Shia LaBeouf. Sharpening an axe. Shia LaBeouf. But he doesn't hear you enter. Shia LaBeouf. You're sneaking up behind him. Strangling superstar Shia LaBeouf. Fighting for your life with Shia LaBeouf. Wrestling a knife from Shia LaBeouf. Stab it in his kidney. Safe at last from Shia LaBeouf.
You limp into the dark woods, blood oozing from your stump leg. You've beaten Shia LaBeouf.
Wait, he isn't dead. Shy surprise, there's a gun to your head and death in his eyes, but you can do jujitsu. Body slam superstar Shia LaBeouf. Legendary fight with Shia LaBeouf. Normal Tuesday night for Shia LaBeouf. You try to swing an axe at Shia LaBeouf, but blood is draining fast from your stump leg. He's dodging every swipe. He parries to the left. You counter to the right. You catch him in the neck. You're chopping off his head now. He watches
His head topples to the floor, expressionless. You fall to your knees and catch your breath. You're finally safe from Shia LaBeouf.